Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Ginny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. Today, I have a little bit of a follow-up on last week. Last week I was talking about some inspiration and stuff, and I had, I'll put it up here if I can find the picture again, this sweatshirt sort of thing that I was interested in, and it's got sort of a cocoon kind of shape. And one of you guys, I'll tell you who it was, at Barkcloth, recommended this pattern right here. The Koos Van Den Akker pattern, Vogue 1401. She said that it runs really, really big, but it definitely has a really cool sort of like egg-like shape. And I thought, oh, I think I have that pattern. So I came down to my storage box, I started digging around. I couldn't find that pattern. If I ever had it, then I must have destashed it at some point. So I went ahead and rebought it on eBay. So I don't have it yet. But while I was down there, while I was digging through my patterns, I came up with a few other like older patterns that I have never made, but that I have always really, really loved and really wanted to make. So I pulled out a few, and I thought I would share them with you guys today and give you some of my ideas on how I want to use them. I have a feeling, just before we get started, that the reason I haven't made most of these patterns isn't because I didn't like the pattern I bought them, because I really like the style, but based on the fabric recommendations and obviously the images on the cover of the patterns, I feel like they were all too dressy for my lifestyle. As you guys know, I have dogs. I have 3 dogs, and I spend a good deal of my time at home. So my clothes need to be pretty practical. They need to be, number one, they need to be dog friendly, which means they have to be able to go into the washer and the dryer, because dogs get dog hair and dog slobber on everything. So that said, I went through a few of these patterns, and I thought when I'm looking at them, I'm going to see if there's a way I can make these more suitable to my current lifestyle. So starting with this one here, which is the Koos Van Den Akker Vogue 1401, the one that Barkcloth recommended when I get this pattern. Now, this might actually be one of the fabric recommendations. I don't have this pattern yet, but what I was thinking is I could make this. I have a really, like a mid-weight, tiny check, black and white check linen, which would be really cool to make this for the fall, and then use, you can see in the line drawing here, these lines in the middle that like across the bust, those are like embroidery lines. I think it's just like freeform embroidery, like I don't know yet, but I was thinking that I could do that embroidery or something like that in a highly contrasting color, such as the checks are black and white, so maybe something in red or like a bright yellow could be really cool. Additionally, I did buy a cotton lawn, I think it is, from Fluid and Drape. It's the one with the tomatoes on it, and if I have a picture of that, I'll put that up here. I thought it could be really cool to do that, this dress in that fabric, but get a different cotton lawn color for the sleeves, so it would have a contrast. It wouldn't be completely tomatoes. I don't know, those are my ideas for that one. But while I was digging through that, I also came across this Koos Van Den Akker pattern, and this one is Vogue 1187. I hope you guys will excuse me because I have to look at my pictures while we're talking about this. Vogue 1187, and again, the reason that I've never made this is because even though this pattern does say linen or linen types, or it might even say cotton lawn on there, I was thinking that this could be a really cool dress to make out of mixed icots. So it's got a top panel and a bottom panel, and then this neckline thing. You could use 3 different icots all in the same colors, but just with different patterns on them. Or you could use something with similar patterns in all 3 different colors. Anyways, I really, really like that idea. I thought that could be really cool. I might, because I know I will probably wear this over a pair of pants, I might make mine a little bit shorter. Hers is like right at the bottom of the knee, so for me I like something a little bit above the knee. Sorry, I don't know what's with my lighting again, you guys. No idea. Anyways, let's keep going. Then the other one I came across was yet another sort of cocoon or egg kind of shape. It's this one from Rachel Comey. This is Vogue number 1482. And I was thinking that I could make this out of like a rayon challis or like a rayon twill or something. And again, this one is cut above the knee, so it's probably a fine length. I would wear this with like a slim leg pant and in the fall like a pair of big chunky boots or something. But I do have a couple of pieces of rayon. I think one is like a rayon twill that could be really good, but also I could see it in a, what's the other thing, viscose? A viscose twill, something like that. Yeah, I think this would be a really cool, fun one to make. I have Vogue 9171, which is a Marcy Tilton pattern. And you can see here in this line drawing here that this also has like several style lines where you could use, which you could use to sort of like mix your fabrics if you wanted to. I really like the length of this, and again, I would probably make this in like a rayon challis or a viscose challis, something like that, something that's nice and drapey and fluid. I love the idea of mixing patterns in this, but it could also be good in just a solid color. For another one of the Tilton patterns, I had Vogue 8954. This one is just like a little topper piece, and I'm not really sure why. I've never made this. I really like this. They show it here in like a sheer and then a couple of things that look like jerseys or whatever. But if you look at the line drawings, again, this has so many pieces. I thought this would be a really great pattern to use for upcycling old t-shirts. I could totally see cutting each of these patches out from a different t-shirt, and then you would have just like a big t-shirt collage, which I love the idea of. And then I have one more Tilton pattern, and it was Katherine Tilton. It's Butterick 5891. I've had this pattern forever. One of you guys actually sent me this pattern, and I apologize because now I cannot remember who it was. It was probably close to 3 years ago that you sent it to me. Whoever you are, thank you very much. I do try to remember. I should have just written your name on the pattern, and I'm so sorry. Anyways, this one I love, and again, because of all the style lines, I thought this would be a great pattern for using for upcycling. In this case, I was thinking about using a variety of just like maybe 2 or 3 men's thrift store shirts and just getting patterns that I really like together. I thought that could be super, super cool. Then, what do I have next? Oh, then I found my Zandra Rhodes patterns. And Zandra Rhodes patterns, I love them, but they are all like, as pictured, like way fancier than anything I would ever wear. So let's start with Vogue 1491. This is a sheer overblouse, and I think that the fabrics I recommend are obviously sheers, like chiffon or organza, something like that. But I thought, what about making this again in a, not a really drapey jersey, but something like a 100% cotton jersey, and then just using contrast bands in a different color at the bottom. I also thought this could be really cool in a double Georgette. I'm thinking a double gauze, like a cotton double gauze. So you'd have that nice flowy drapey feeling, but it wouldn't have like the sheerness. And I think that's something I could wear with just a ton of things. The other one from Zandra Rhodes is Vogue 1472, and I was thinking really like sort of the same idea with this one. This one has like an amazing skirt. Obviously in this picture it's made in some very fancy nice fabric. The skirt is super cool, you guys. It has this it has suspenders. I'll put the line drawing up here for you, but it's really, really cool. I may actually make the skirt if I can figure out what kind of fabric to make it in that would make it both like suitable for the skirt and also suitable for my lifestyle. But really right now I was thinking about this top, and again I could definitely see this in a double gauze or even something like a cotton lawn. I could definitely see this in a rayon, again like a twill or a challis or something like that. I think there are a ton of different things you could make this out of. For this one, because it's quite wide, I think I would want it to be something softer and drapier, but I love this top, and I definitely see I could totally wear that over just in the winter time over just like a tank and a pair of big baggy pants. I think that would be super cool. The last one I have from Zandra Rhodes is Vogue 1551, and this I can't remember. Again, I think they recommend chiffon or organza or something like that. Some sort of sheer, but I thought if I made this in a cotton lawn or a cotton voile, it would be so cool to use this as just like to toss on over my yoga clothes. So I have like an outfit instead of just running out in my like yoga pants and a sweatshirt or something. I thought this would be an amazing way to sort of transform that into like something cool instead of something just functional. Yeah, this one is a little bit, it looks to be a little bit fitted in the waist, so I might have to like mess with that a little bit because I wouldn't want it to be like slim fitting like a dress. I would want it to be a little bit looser in the waist. The other thing is I could totally see this in like a mid-weight linen in the fall and winter to throw over, even if you threw it over like a tank and a pair of like baggier pants or something like that. I could totally see that. It would be cool in linen if you threw it over some sort of a dress or something, like a sleeveless dress when the weather starts to change, so you'd have like a little extra layer. I love this thing, and I definitely want to give that a try. That is it for Zandra Rhodes. However, next I have Sandra Betzina, who's one of my very favorites. The first one I have is Vogue 1333. This has a skirt and a top, both of which I really love. The skirt has two separate pieces. There's like an underlayer and then an overlayer. You can't really tell in this picture, but because the pattern, I think they use the same fabric for both pieces. But I thought it'd be really cool to do this in like a cotton spandex jersey with like two different stripes. So like black and white stripes that are like wider, and then the other layer black and white stripes that are narrower, or some mix like that. It could also be like black and white spots with black and white stripes, or like any other color, obviously. I love the skirt, and I definitely can see myself wearing that. Again, I wouldn't wear it with this top, but I could see myself wearing that with like a slimmer fitting, like sort of short-ish like sweatshirt and boots in the fall. I think that would be really cool. I do also really like this top, and this is another one that I think would be really good in either double gauze or cotton lawn or cotton voile. Those things are all like drapey enough, I think, to get the effect for this top without being like dressy fabrics. And that is also something I could totally see myself wearing over like over a different skirt or over a pair of baggier pants or something like that. A little more limited in time, so they'll probably be more like a summer transitional thing, but I would still wear it. I love the shape of this top. The next one from Sandra is Vogue 1515. I do really like this skirt, and I think I could wear this skirt in like in a more casual fabric. I don't have plans for that one yet, but I definitely would make this top. I would make this top, and again, I think that they suggest like organza, or I can't remember what else for this top, but I thought this top would be super cool in a crisp cotton poplin. It would be lightweight, so it wouldn't be like hot, and then it would also be washable, so you could just throw it in the washer and the dryer. You could pop it over like a little tank and a pair of pants. I think that would be so cute. I don't have any cotton poplin at the moment, but I'm definitely gonna look for some. This is a top I've wanted to make for ages. I did make this for a client way back when this pattern very first came out, and I don't remember liking it that much at the time, but my style has changed a lot since then, and I'm even when I remember the top that I made, I think I would like it much better now. So I definitely want to give this one a try. Okay, and last but not least is another Vogue pattern. This is Kathryn Brenne, I think is how you say her name. Vogue 9114. These are both just pretty simple like pants and skirt, but I do really like the details on these. I like the little ruching or pickups or whatever those are on the skirt, and the little gathering on the side of the pants. I think both of those are really fun, and I think I can make those in like a variety of fabrics and wear them with all kinds of things. All right, guys, my hope for this video is that it inspires you to dig around in your pattern stashes and see if there aren't a couple of patterns in there that you've always really loved but have never made up, and maybe get into them and see what you can do with them that might make them appropriate for your life as it is right now. As for me, I am going to get started right now on Vogue 1096, which is another Sandra Betzina pattern. I got this one off of eBay like maybe a year ago or something, and I've had the pattern, the fabric for this for ages, since before I got the pattern, and I have known that I wanted to make these pants out of that fabric for at least a year, so I'm gonna finally break down and get that done. Alright guys, that is it for me this week. Until next time, I wish you all happy sewing.